Okay, guys, today we'll be playing Try Not to Scream, and I'll try my best not to scream. Because I can get scared pretty easy, I ain't gonna lie. We ain't gonna talk about the fact that I can get scared of my girl. We ain't gonna talk about that part. Anyways, we'll start, and we got our dog Marco with us.
This is the most scary and dangerous animal to ever live on Earth. This is Titanoboa. This is an ancient snake that lived over 58 million years ago. And according to scientists, for nearly 10 million years, it was the largest predator on the planet. Titanoboa's length was 43 feet long, and its weight was well over a ton. This snake was so big that you can lay 2 giraffes on the ground, and Titanoboa will still be longer. If you still can't comprehend how big this snake was, on the left is a vertebrae of an anaconda, which is the biggest snake on the planet right now, and on the right is the vertebrae of Titanoboa. It is so much more bigger than the anacondas. Titanoboa was 3 feet in width, and Titanoboa can swallow a hippopotamus whole. Titanoboa was a bloodthirsty predator who ate everything in water and land. Everybody on Earth is super lucky Titanoboa is not around anymore.
That's so mean, Kay. Don't throw Marco.
This is the scary story about the hairdo. There was a middle-aged woman who always wore her hair in a bun. She was very proud of her hairdo and thought she was the most fashionable of all her friends. The woman was very lazy, and she didn't like spending the time cleaning her hair or styling it. Instead, she just left her hair how it was, and she never even washed it. Whenever she took a shower, she would wear a shower cap so the water didn't mess up her hair. After a while, her hair began to smell, so she used hairspray to cover the smell. One morning, the woman did not come down for breakfast, so her husband went up to the bedroom to wake her up. To his horror, he discovered that his wife had died during the night. At first, the police thought she might have had a heart attack. However, when they conducted an autopsy, they examined her hair and found something terrifying. A black widow spider made a nest in her hair and laid many eggs. When the baby spiders hatched, they had bitten through her skull and ate their way into her brain.
Oh my lord.
This is a scary story about the strange dream. One summer day, a kid named Chris lost his footing and fell off a cliff. He landed on a ledge and it saved his life, but he was badly injured and had to be rescued. He hit his head on the fall and he was unconscious. The doctors found swelling in his brain and he had to get surgery immediately. After the surgery, he went into a coma. A few days later, he recovered and his friend went to go visit him in the hospital. Chris then told him about the strange dream he had while he was unconscious. In the dream, he was at a train station. There was nobody else in sight. When the train pulled up to the station, he got in. There was nobody on the train. He was completely alone. Then he heard a crackling voice on the speakers. It said, "Next stop, final stop. Next stop, end of line." Something about the announcement sent a chill down his spine, and he jumped out of his seat and managed to get off the train. Just as the doors were closing, he woke up from his coma. The doctors said he was between life and death. He then said to his friend, "If I hadn't gotten off that train, I believe the end of the line meant I would have died."
This is why you always say yes to tandoori chicken. In 2012, a high school tutor and her student stayed up so late one night studying that by the time they were done, the buses had stopped running. Without another way home, the student asked if he could stay the night at her place. Reluctantly, she agreed. When they got back to the apartment, she fell asleep on her bed and he fell asleep on a blanket next to her bed on the ground. A few hours later, she wakes up to the boy standing awkwardly in the middle of the room.
I can't. That sent chills down my spine, bro. I can't. That sent chills down my spine. Let's just move on to the YouTube Shorts now. Okay, come on, we're moving on to the YouTube Shorts. Not this guy again. Not this guy again. Okay, this guy is... I can't. Marco, please. Bro's cool. Don't be a jump scare. Do not be a jump scare. Oh! Then I lost the screen. I lost the screen. Oh!
Hey there, little lady. Why don't you hop in my car?
What? I always think so. Okay,
We can go
sorry
for a
about
ride. We're gonna have a time of our lives. Just you wait.
that. Bro, stop turning us around.
Let me put on my glasses so I can get a good look at you.
Oh my word. I think he's drive off.
Hey there, little lady. Why don't you hop in my car? We can go for a ride.
We're raising her up went totally wrong. Next is the true story animation. Oh. Oh. I hate these, bro. It always gives me the like goosebumps. SpongeBob.
In July 2005, there was a television hijacking that resulted in a disturbing episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. The episode starts off with the title card "Help" over and over, despite the fact that this is footage from the season 2 episode "Your Shoes Untied." Everything seems relatively normal as SpongeBob trips his way down to the Krusty Krab, but once he gets there is when things get weird.
Bye, SpongeBob.
So after that, we cut to a shot of SpongeBob's home in the middle of the night, and inside we see Gary anxiously staring at a clock on the wall. This is absolutely terrifying, and it is a piece of analog horror from the creator Hades Horror. In July 2005, there was a television hijacking that resulted in a disturbing episode of SpongeBob
There was a hijack?
Take another step and...
Okay, I don't think we were watching this, but this could be a break.
This is over. Now come with me. Who the hell are you?
Hey guys, I didn't censor that. I probably won't censor it. Seems so sweet. I play these games before.
You know, let's go. Brother, you know why? Take another step and...
Which one of you stole my heart?
I
Tell me,
wanted to
who of
know
you
the
loves me?
reference.
Amy Rose, what do you mean?
So one break. And let's just move on to the animation. Oh, I hate these, bro. I'm going to pee my pants right now, bro. Okay, next one is this one.
The girl was streaming live on social media in the middle of the night, when suddenly the teddy bear placed behind her falls down. The audience reminds her, but the girl looks confused. After that, the girl picks up the teddy bear and puts it back. She then returned to her seat to continue the broadcast. The audience then alerted her that the bookshelf was shaking. The girl became frightened. She asked her viewers not to scare her, but then a book fell down. The girl was shocked. The audience told her to run away from the room, so she quickly switched off the live broadcast in horror. But the next moment, the girl smiled triumphantly. It turns out that it was all designed by her. The girl's motive was to gain popularity by fooling people. She was sharing sharing her performance by making calls to her friends. All of a sudden, some strange activities started happening in the broadcast room. When the girl opened her camera to take a selfie, suddenly 2 more faces appeared on the screen. The girl immediately looked back, but then more faces started appearing on the screen. The girl got so scared that she dropped her cell phone. But before she could do anything, her head was pounding on the desktop as if something was controlling her. When the girl's body stopped moving, a girl who looked like her pushed her aside. After finishing the girl's game, she now starts doing live broadcasting in her place. The girl was streaming live on social media in the middle of the night, when suddenly the teddy bear placed behind her falls down. The audience reminds her, but the girl looks confused. After that, the girl picks up the teddy bear and puts it back. She then returned to her seat to continue the broadcast. The audience then alerted her that the bookshelf was shaking. The girl became frightened. She asked her viewers not to scare her, but then a book fell down. The girl was shocked. The audience told her to run away from the room, so she quickly switched off the live broadcast in horror. But the next moment, the girl smiled triumphantly. It turns out that it was all designed by her. The girl's motive was to gain popularity by fooling people. She was sharing her performance by making calls to her friends. All of a sudden, some strange activities started happening in the broadcast room. When the girl opened her camera to take a selfie, suddenly 2 more faces appeared on the screen. The girl immediately looked back, but then more faces started appearing on the screen. The girl got so scared that she dropped her cell phone. But before she could do anything, her head was pounding on the desktop as if something was controlling her.
Okay. I don't think I'll be able to survive this combination. Next one is this one. Oh, Lord. You know why I saved this for last.
Piqued my interest. My sister, however, really wanted to see Santa. Not that she believed in him really, but she thought the concept of Santa was funny for some reason. Anyways, we got lined up in the center of the mall where they had a bunch of fake North Pole scenery put up around a Christmassy house that was supposed to be Santa's cabin or whatever. Nobody could actually see Santa because you had to go inside the cabin and meet him and get your pictures. Because we couldn't see, we had no idea why it was taking so long for the line to move. With 20 or 30 people ahead of us, the estimated wait time was almost an hour, but it's where my sister wanted to go, and I didn't have any better idea, so we stuck it out. Unfortunately, after about a half an hour, the soda that I'd had at the food court was hitting my bladder. I really had to take a leak, so I told my sister to go on without me or to hold my place in line if she was still waiting when I got back. Then I raced off to the nearest restroom. Just a few minutes later, I was done, and I went back to the Santa setup to see that my sister was no longer in line. I figured she was inside the cabin, but after I saw a few people go out and no sign of her, I got confused and decided I should check inside. I tried to tell them what happened, but those heartless helper elves didn't care at all. I pleaded with them to just let me check, saying that I didn't want to take any pictures and just wanted to make sure my sister was okay. But they didn't believe me. They just wrinkled their noses and told me to get in the back of the line. Not knowing what else to do, I did. And everybody in the line gave me weird looks while I walked back. I was even more annoyed when I saw that the line had doubled in size since I left it. I was fuming the whole time I waited, mad at myself for leaving the line and cursing out everything in my head. My sister didn't have a cell phone, so she was basically helpless without me. I was responsible for her, and if I didn't get her back, I was going to be in some deep trouble with my parents. So I waited, and waited, and waited, until finally, after a ridiculous amount of time, I got in. As soon as I stepped in, a chill ran down my spine. It was super dark in there, and it smelled kind of funny. To my left was the Santa, but I've never seen such a wrong guy to play the part. He was all scrawny and ghoulish with sunken-in eyes and a patchy beard. The only part of him that was fat was his ginormous beer gut, which was way out of proportion with the rest of him. He was hideous. I couldn't tell if he was trying to do a Christmas or Halloween thing, but I'd come all the way, so I had to try talking to him. Hello? Have you seen a little girl with dark hair about this high? Probably laughed at you instead of asking for presents?
Whoa there, kiddo. Aren't you gonna ask for presents?
No, I don't care about presents. I'm just looking for my sister. This is the last place she was at. Have you seen her?
Oh, come on. I won't be cheesy like all the other Santas. You don't have to sit in my lap or anything. You just have to pick one of these 3 presents here.
The presents were laying in his lap. A blue one on the left, a green one on the right, and a red one in the middle. I hadn't noticed them before because, well, who wants to look at the crotch of somebody who looks like that?
Not sure? I'll tell you what. If you let Santa do his job, Santa will help